Hey guys, behind me is the brand new, refreshed 2020 Honda Civic Si, and it's red. In this video, we're going to talk about everything that has changed. I'm going to show you what hasn't changed. We're going to take it for a ride, and at the end, I'm going to tell you whether I would buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it. So let's get going. Let's start with what hasn't changed, and that's this gem of an engine. It's a 1.5 liter turbo that puts out 205 horsepower and 192 pound-foot of torque, paired to a 6-speed manual. Hallelujah! It's front-wheel drive, and this Civic is the Goldilocks one, right? There's a regular Civic, which is a little slow. There's a Type R, which is really fast, and then there's this one for $25,000, which is right down the middle, and probably the one that I would get. All right, let's give it a little bit of the beans. Oh, hit the red line there. You know, one thing about this transmission is that the revs do like to hang a little bit. In other words, it's really hard to power shift fast. What happens is the engine keeps spinning even after you change gears, and that hasn't changed from the outgoing model. But besides that, everything else here is the way I like it. In other words, fast, firm, and fun. Let's talk about what has changed. And there are 5 things on the outside of this refreshed Civic Si that are different. First, there are revised headlights, which are now a little bit more aggressive, a little bit meaner. There are revised fog lamps. The entire front bumper is a little bit more mean, a little bit more purposeful. And of course, I think the biggest thing that makes this car a little bit more handsome are these new blacked out wheels. What's changed in the back here, of course, is, well, black. There's more black. You've got a blacked out rear taillight. You've got a little bit more black accents here, and the entire bumper has been revised. Once again, making a little bit more purposeful, a bit more aggressive, a little bit more SI, if there's such a thing. Inside the Civic, things are really nice, starting with these seats. The Type R, the bolstering is just too aggressive, especially for big guys like me. It's pinchy. And the regular Civic, it's just a little too loungy. These are perfect. They're sporty when you want them to be, and yet they're comfortable enough for a long drive. The biggest change in my mind, of course, is right here. Get that? Yep, it's a volume knob. No longer do you have to push a button. Now they've listened to you, and you can actually adjust the volume without missing the button. Plus, there's this incredible thing which is becoming an endangered species. Yep, it's a 6-speed manual transmission. Look at those throws. They're nice and short and nice and tight. Plus, Honda is giving you Honda Sensing, which is its entire suite of safety equipment, things like lane keep, autonomous braking, and of course, that funky but useful when you turn right camera in the rear right view outside mirror. The Civic comes in 3 different body styles, of course. There's the hatchback, the sedan, and of course the 2-door coupe. Now the Civic Si that we have here only comes in 2 body styles. There's the 2-door coupe and the one that I would get, this 4-door sedan, because, well, 4 doors are always more fun than 2 doors. All right, maybe they're not more fun, but they're certainly more practical. I do love the fact that you can really hustle this car around with authority. Now, if you want the bare-chested, bare-knuckled version, of course, you're going to get the Type R. That one's going to almost pull the steering wheel out of your hands. But this one is all about Goldilocks. It's all about being just right. Fast enough to be fun, but not fast enough to scare your wife or your kids when you're hustling it around turns like this. Now, we are at 7,000 feet above sea level, so performance is going to be down a little bit even with this turbo. So you do have to kind of shift down a little bit to get the most out of this car. But when you're going around these turns, carving corners, it's really good. The brakes are aggressive and yet linear. The steering wheel is in contact with those front wheels, so you have a real sense of where you're placing the car around the corners. And best of all, when you're doing all that, you can have your wife and friends and baby in the back seat and not feel like they're getting short-shrifted for legroom or pain in terms of payments, because this car is very affordable. So yeah, I do like it. I do like it a lot. How big is the back seat? Well, there's only one way to find out. As always, I'm sitting behind myself and I have adequate headroom, but I have really good legroom. In fact, I have enough headroom to put on my Honda hat. The weird thing is, why is there a pocket here but no pocket there? What is up with that, Honda, huh? Well, in a lot of ways, this may not be the fastest, it may not be the loudest, it may not even be the reddest car out there, but it certainly is the one that does the best job in combining fun, a really usable power band, and sporty nature with practicality. Yeah, I know, the P word, it's... but it is what it is. And if you want something that you can take your family on vacation, and then hustle around the mountains by yourself, this is it. In my mind, the sexiest thing about this car has got to be this exhaust. Look at that. No one else in the business does an exhaust like that. Is that a trapezoid? Is that a triangle? Whatever it is, it's huge and it's really cool. And it's especially cool when you think about the fact that this car is incredibly practical. Let me show you what I mean by that. Now, in many hot hatches that have now become hot sedans, there's not a lot of room in the trunk, but in this car, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of luggage, plus another Honda hat. That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, that is the definition of fast, fun, and practical. You may be wondering what this competes against. Not a lot of cars. The WRX, the Volkswagen GLI, maybe the Veloster N. These are all potential competitors to this. The one thing that this car does really well, because it's a Honda of course, is get great fuel economy. 30 mpg combined. Think about that, 30 mpg. I mean, there are a lot of motorcycles that don't get 30 mpg, and yet here with 205 horsepower and enough speed to put a big smile on my face, I still get 30 mpg combined. That's really good. At just about $25,000, this Honda Civic Si is a Goldilocks performance bargain. That's right, you'd be hard-pressed to find any car that combines so much fun with so much practicality. So on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I'm going to say, heck yeah, go and buy it. At this point, you may be wondering, is Roman a Honda fanboy? He's been wearing this Honda hat the whole time. Heck no. This will go to the very first person in the comments below who can tell me what year the first Si came out. As always, this is Roman saying check out TFLcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world reviews. Ciao.